I'm Million Saint Hilaire, and in this short video, we're going to take a look at the latest MeshCommander. This is version 071, and it's the first video I do with the new user interface. So you'll see that as soon as you open it up and start putting computers in there, on the left side you'll have computers, you'll have the manageability, the certificate tab, and USB key tabs if you want to make USB setup.bin files. So you can just click Add Computer, add your computers as usual, and basically, I don't know, click Connect on one of them, and the computer will connect. In this case, it's a TLS connection. So you'll see that it's TLS connected because on the left side, it will have a padlock, and then you can, for example, click Connect. And in this case, I have a password here because it's user consent. So I'm just going to add that. There it goes. So this is normal MeshCommander as you have probably used it before, but just a kind of nicer, sleeker UI. Also, when you click on a machine, you can click on the icon here and change it to the icon you want. It's just kind of nice and allows you to personalize your device. Also, if you do use TLS and you use pinned certificates, then you'll see on the bottom right here, it will say that this computer is pinned to a specific certificate. That means that when MeshCommander connects to that computer, it expects to see that certificate, that specific certificate from that computer. You can click Show Certificate, it will show you the thumbprint, and you can remove the pinning if you want. So that's it. Also, at any point of time in the screen, you can start typing, for example, mesh, and it will just filter all the computers and show you ones that match that criteria. So you see mesh on the upper right. If you hit escape, it just clears out the filter, and that's how you see all the computers again. Another thing you can do is add, well, first of all, you can also scan for computers on your local network. When you click on them, you can say add, and it will add them to your list. You can also group computers, so I can double click on a computer here to edit it, and you'll see it has a group name, so I can say my home computers or whatever, put spaces, there you go, and you can see that this computer has now been moved to this group, my home computer. The little lights here on the left side are MCP responses for those computers on the local network. So in red, that means those computers have not responded, so we haven't detected their presence, and green means that we have detected that there's a presence of an AMT computer at that place. So anyway, that's MeshCommander in a nutshell, but another huge feature starting with this version is that you can go in File and say Connect to MeshCentral. Now this allows you to connect to a MeshCentral 2 server somewhere on the internet or on your local machine, on local network, and then taking over computers on that server. So I'm going to log in as you can basically put your server name here for any server that you have. If you have a port, specify the port, otherwise 443 is a default. The certificate hash, that's the hash of the certificate of the server. If you don't know it, just keep it clear. Don't put anything there, and then you'll be asked for confirmation, and then your username and password to log into that server. So I'm going to say OK here, and then I'm just connected to my own test MeshCentral 2 server. You can see all the computers in my account, and I can see now how the computer's AMT is connected. So for example, here you see the connect button is grayed out. That's because the server doesn't see that computer currently available on anywhere. But this machine here, for example, MeshLab Right, you'll see that it has no security, so it's not set up with TLS, but it has direct. That means that the server can directly access and connect to that AMT computer. So if I click connect here, you'll see on the top it says remote console server and my server. So now what's going on is that MeshCommander is sending all of the traffic over through to that server, and then the server is making the final connection to AMT. The connection between MeshCommander and MeshCentral 2 is always encrypted using TLS, but the traffic between the server and the AMT depends on how you set up AMT, whether it's Syrah or so on. So here, for example, I can click remote desktop, and I have my remote desktop here for this computer. Okay, another thing that's kind of cool, and I'm going to bring out MeshCentral. So this is the MeshCentral instance I'm logged into, and you'll notice one thing is I have more machines on on my website than I have on MeshCommander, and that's because MeshCommander only shows machines that have AMT. So for example, machines like this Raspberry Pi that don't have AMT, it won't show up here. Another thing that's really cool is that if I change the icon of anywhere, like for example this AMT Mesh Lab left, like if you look at Mesh Lab left here, then I can change the icon and you'll see it that it's done all in real time. So it's kind of cool. The other thing is it applies to the name also. So if I change the name here, it updates in MeshCommander in real time. So basically everything in MeshCommander here is in real time, right? So if a status of one of these computers changes, things like that, then it will immediately be represented. So one thing I can do is I'm going to go on off screen here. I have a different computer on the side, and what I'm going to do is activate Syrah on this computer right here. So I'm going to go into network setting internet setting on a different computer, and click OK. And so in 10 seconds you should see Syrah just pop up. There you go, Syrah. So that means that the MeshCentral server, and you can see it here too, the MeshCentral server just got a Syrah connection, registered it, and you can see it live. It updated on both the website and on MeshCommander, and then I can click connect. And now what's going on is MeshCommander is sending all the traffic to MeshCentral 2, and MeshCentral 2 is sending the traffic down through the Syrah tunnel to this AMT machine. So this is cool because basically MeshCentral 2 serves as the MPS server for MeshCommander. And the other thing I can do here is I can do remote desktop, but the other thing that's interesting is I can do KVM from here. So now I have IDER from here. So now I have a KVM session going through Syrah, and I can also click IDER, and if I wanted to choose a floppy disk and an ISO and so on, and then the IDE redirect session would go through from MeshCommander through MeshCentral 2 to that machine and through Syrah in this case. So that's a quick view of the latest version of MeshCentral and MeshCommander. In order to connect both together, you'll need the latest version of both in order to support this new feature. And at any time you can click disconnect, and this will go back to local mode here, and that's it. Thank you very much. Hope you appreciate it.